What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Subscribe, thumbs up the video. I want to talk about Dave East's debut album. It's called Survival. He put it out through Def Jam Recordings, and this album had some big features, man. Nas was on it, Tiana Taylor, Ty Dolla $ign, Fabulous, even Max B. Now, what surprised me on this album with the Max B feature was Max B sounded like he actually recorded this verse like recently. Everybody knows, Max B, he's in prison. He was sentenced to like a 70-year sentence. There has been rumors that he will come out next year. They're saying that they reduced his sentencing due to good behavior. And, Max B actually mentioned Dave East's name on the feature, which means that this feature was done recently. Now, I don't know if the feature was done over the phone, or I don't know if Max B has a studio in jail. I have no idea. But Max B's verse was hard. I gotta give credit. Shout out to Max B, man. Free the wave. I was actually inspired to name this YouTube channel Stay Wavy because of Max B. So shout out to Max B for the inspiration. I hope he comes out of jail next year. This album had some big time features, and I think it was a great album. For a debut album, I think it was great. I think Dave East really got to introduce like who he is to the world through this album. He talked a lot about his upbringing. He talked a lot about when he was younger, going to school, talked about his relationship with his mom and his brother, his father. This album really helped me realize, what made Dave East into the person he is today. You know what I'm saying? He even talked about, his basketball career because, Dave East thought he was going to go to the NBA. He actually played basketball with Kevin Durant. Him and Kevin Durant are actually really good friends. So, he really breaks down how because of his basketball career not working out, he ended up taking rap serious. So, that was dope. But Dave East's album sold 22,000 first week. And ironically, I want to say like the first week his album came out, he did an interview where people was asking him, why did he decide to take Kodak Black off of his album? Now, he said that the reason he took Kodak Black off his album was obviously because of his relationship with the late Nipsey Hussle. Shortly after Nipsey Hussle passed away, Kodak Black said some very ignorant things about Lauren London. Kodak Black basically said, look, I'm going to give Lauren London time to grieve, but after I give her time to grieve, I'm going to holler at her. I'm going to bust down on her and wife her up because, she can't be alone. She too sexy, And those statements really got a lot of people pissed off, especially the people close to Nipsey Hussle. And I just think the comments were extremely distasteful. Not only did he say that, but Kodak Black was laughing while he said it. He was taking it like it was a joke. And looking at what Nipsey Hussle did for his community, looking at how he pretty much, put his life on the line to make his neighborhood a better place. He owned the plaza in his hood. He gave a lot of people jobs that couldn't get jobs. A lot of people that went to jail and got out of jail and couldn't get jobs. He set up, programs for kids in the community, to get into the tech industry. He did a lot of great things, man. He was an entrepreneur. He owned his own clothing line. He really set the example of black excellence. And because of those comments that Kodak Black made, Dave East took Kodak off the album because Dave East and Nipsey Hussle had a personal relationship. Now, a lot of people are saying that Dave East taking Kodak Black off of his album is the reason why his album had low first week sales. I disagree. Okay, and the reason why I disagree is because yes, Kodak Black has a big fan base, but let's be honest, I don't think anybody was even expecting a Dave East and Kodak Black song. I like I'm thinking about it right now. Like, I honestly can't even picture those two rappers doing a song together. Like, I don't even know how it would sound because, you know, Dave East is a New York rapper. He's a street New York rapper. Like, Dave East's music sounds very similar to the early 2000s with like G Unit and Dipset and, you know, Jadakiss and Styles P. Like, he's in that cliche. And I highly disagree, man. I don't think Kodak Black had anything to do with Dave East's low first week sales. Okay? Yeah, you know, Kodak Black being on the Dave East song, it probably would do a lot of numbers because Kodak Black, he bodies features. Okay? I gotta keep it real. Kodak, he got a feature on Gucci Mane's new album that was fire. But at the end of the day, I think the reason why Dave East had low first week sales is because of Def Jam. I think that Def Jam is hands down the worst record label in hip hop right now. It's awful. Okay. We just seen Designer. He you know, previously he was signed to Good Music, which is Kanye West's record label, and that record label is ran through Def Jam. You know, Designer actually just got out of his deal. Not only that, YK Osiris put out an album called The Golden Child, and that album sold less than 10,000 copies after he went around for about 3 weeks saying that he was the king of R&B. Okay. Big Sean. You know, Big Sean is also signed to Def Jam Music. Big Sean put out like 2 or 3 singles to pretty much get everybody hyped up for his new album. Those singles did not do very well. They didn't even really chart in the top 20. Big Sean, you know, after he put out those singles, he's been ghost. You know, he has not he has not announced the release date. You know, we don't even know if he's gonna drop an album by the end of the year. I just think Def Jam is just an awful label, man. It honestly, Def Jam is very outdated. Another artist I want to bring up that's not doing well on Def Jam, Fabulous. Now, the last time Fabulous put out an album on Def Jam was, I believe, 2015. And that project was called, what was it called? It was a project that he put out in 2015. What's that album called? What's the name of that album? I forgot the name of the album, but, you know, Fabulous hasn't put out a project through Def Jam since 2015. It's now 2019. Okay, he had a project called Summertime Shootout. That project was a mixtape. That project was not put out through Def Jam. He put out Summertime Shootout Part 2. That project was a mixtape. That wasn't released through Def Jam. Okay, so all of the artists that's on Def Jam are struggling. Okay, they're struggling big time. They're not selling well. The albums aren't selling well, and Def Jam is just a huge disaster. Another artist I could bring up, August Alsina. Okay, August Alsina is signed to Def Jam. He's come out publicly and said that Def Jam is pretty much holding his album hostage because they're having some internal issues with the record label where, you know, they're switching presidents. And, you know, August Alsina was supposed to put out an album last year. That album pretty much got shelved because of poor support from the label. Okay, so it's just a lot of chaos going on with Def Jam as a record label, and I believe that that's the reason that Dave East's album did not perform well, because they did a very poor job of promoting the album. I think that we've heard more news about Dave East doing acting than hip hop. Okay, I don't think a lot of people even know that Dave East put out an album. I don't think they know. Okay, I don't think they know. The first single that I believe that they put out for this album was a song called Every Day with Gunna. It's a nice song. I like it. It's a dope song, but it's not a single though. Like, it's not something that you could push to chart on the Billboard charts. I believe that the song that Def Jam should have put out first was the song with Jacquees. Okay, Dave East has a fire ass song with Jacquees on his album called Survival. Y'all got to check that out, man. Jacquees did his thing. That's a hit. Okay, that is a hit. That should have been the first single that Dave East put out for his album. Def Jam should have took that song to #1 on the Billboard charts. And once again, this is proof that Def Jam has no idea what they're doing, bro. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't see Def Jam being around within the next 5 years. I believe the record label eventually is going to shut down, because at this point, there's no way in hell, there's no way in hell that Def Jam is making any money off their artists right now. Okay, the only artist that put out a project through Def Jam this year that sold well is Kanye West. That's it. That is it. If it wasn't for Kanye West, I don't think Def Jam would have made any money this year off any of their artists. Okay? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out. Skirt.